Hello, I'm Jonathan Ray and this is Central News. Good evening. A man convicted of the murder of 17-year-old dancer Heather Tell is beginning a life sentence tonight. A jury took 7.5 hours to find Michael Chidgey guilty by a majority verdict. Sarah White was in court.
This was the moment that 17-year-old Heather Tell's family had prayed for. It was August last year that Heather's naked body was found in a park in Tamworth. She'd been strangled. Tonight, at Stafford Crown Court, her family saw justice done.
Nothing will bring Heather back, but you can't do it to anybody else.
We can't get justice. Heather ain't coming back. She'll not come back. It's all we want, but we know we can't have that.
Here was a girl whose only contribution to her fate was to be a pretty young girl in a public park on a summer's evening. She was a complete innocent, and for that her life was cruelly snuffed out. It was pure evil, and the public have got to be protected from Michael Chidgey.
As the jury foreman stood to deliver his verdict of guilty, there were loud cheers from the public gallery. Heather's parents, sitting only a few yards from her killer, Michael Chidgey, huddled together for comfort, very emotional. Many of the 8 women on the jury were also in tears. Sentencing Chidgey, Mr. Justice Poole told him this was a ruthless murder of an innocent girl for your own gratification. You took a young life full of promise and inflicted pain. You had no pity, no remorse, and you are a continued and serious danger to women. You will go to prison for life.
Tomorrow it'll be exactly 10 years since an 18-year-old mum mysteriously disappeared without trace. No one has seen Nicola Payne since Christmas 1991. Her parents think she was murdered, and as Keith Wilkinson reports, her mother's anguish hasn't eased over the years.
It's still an unsolved mystery. Why did Nicola Payne vanish 10 years ago from her home in Coventry? Why did she leave behind the baby son she loved? Was she murdered? Her mother is convinced she was, and that her body remains hidden somewhere. 10 years on, and Nicola's parents have all but given up hope that one day she'll walk through that front door and return home.
I definitely think she was murdered, and the last 10 years have not been easy at all. Every morning when you wake, it's there before you. Every night when you say a prayer, you think about her. Each Christmas gets worse. People say time heals, but I'm sorry, I feel that... In fact, I feel worse now than what I did on the first Christmas that she went. I'm sorry.
Nicola's mother says whilst it would be dreadful if her body was ever found, at least they'd be able to lay her to rest. 10 years on. Keith Wilkinson, Central News.
Police searching for a university student who's been missing for 3 weeks have found a body. Richard Priest from Knipersley in Staffordshire had been studying at Lancaster University when he disappeared. He went out with friends to celebrate his 20th birthday and wasn't seen again. The father of one of the British plane spotters being held in Greece has put up the bail money. Wayne Grove's father gave £9,000 to the police today. Wayne from Tamworth and Gary Fagan from Kegworth in Leicestershire are among 13 holidaymakers arrested 5 weeks ago accused of spying. They could return home tomorrow. Motorists have been questioned as part of an investigation into the death of a college tutor. Police stopped cars outside a training centre in Tyseley in Birmingham where the man was knocked over and killed. Charles Tandy, who was 56 and from Sutton Coldfield, died after chasing a suspected thief who'd stolen a laptop computer. Construction of a long-awaited road project in the West Midlands has been given government approval. It means that the Selly Oak Relief Road in Birmingham can finally get underway. John Speller, the Minister of Transport, awarded £16 million to the City Council and another £6 million for the demolition of Mass House Circus. 500,000 extra passengers are expected to use East Midlands Airport next year with the announcement that the budget airline Go is beginning flights. It's a major boost for the Leicestershire Airport, which has been hit by the downturn in air travel. Football stars took part in unusual training routines today. David Ginola worked on his upper body strength by playing table football, and Peter Schmeichel got to grips with glitter and glue. They'd paid a surprise visit to Birmingham Children's Hospital. The young patients were determined autograph hunters, even if loyalties were a little blurred.
They're not the right team.
Who do you support then?
West Ham United, they know how to wear claret and blue.
When I look at them, the smile on their face and bringing presents, they're quite happy.
Did your mummy see David Ginola?
Yeah.
Did she? Did you think he was really nice?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I went for the good-looking ones first.
Nurses ended up cracking jokes about the ideal stocking villa, and for little boys like James Pillinger from Northfield, it was a wonderful party. His family say Christmas at home isn't out of the question, and that would be the most brilliant thing of all. And that's it from Central News. We're back in GMTV tomorrow with bulletins from 6:30 in the morning, but now it's back to Trevor MacDonald at News at 10.
Hello again. The former television newsreader Angela Rippon described tonight how two aggressive and violent thugs set on her and robbed her near her home in West London early this week. It was the second time she'd been mugged in 18 months, but she said she wouldn't let it get her down. Nina Nanar reports.
Were you badly bruised?
Yes. Tonight, Angela Rippon told waiting reporters about the bruises she'd received, but said she felt more pain over the theft of a ring an aunt had given her 36 years ago.
She sadly died of cancer 2 years ago, so it's the only thing I had left of hers. And
What was her name, Angela?
She was my Aunt Rose. Miss Rippon, you... And I did beg them not to take it. But that was when they said they threatened to break my fingers if I wouldn't let them have the ring, so I'm afraid it went. And I'm sorry, but that's the thing that upsets me more than anything else.
She said she believed her two attackers had been waiting near her home in West London to ambush her, also stealing a valuable Rolex watch and other diamond jewellery.
Quite honestly, in those circumstances, when you are faced with two guys, they were both 5'10", 5'11", they were much bigger than me. Two of them, one of them is pinioning you. You don't fight back, you actually just... In fact, I said to them, let me help you, please take it. I wanted them to take the things, and they could go with them, but... They still wanted to take the little ring, and they still wanted to be aggressive and violent.
The 57-year-old radio and television presenter made this famous appearance on the Morecambe and Wise show. She remains a high-profile figure and patron of the arts. This is not the first time that Angela Rippon has been mugged in the streets near her home. In the previous incident last March, she was left with an injured shoulder and bruising. But tonight she said she would not be intimidated.
It's a lovely part of London to live, and I would hate to think that two mindless thugs would chase me out of my home and make me stop enjoying it. I can't allow that to happen.
Nina Nanar, ITN.
The headlines again. Gary Hart, the Land Rover driver who nodded off at the wheel and caused the Selby rail disaster, was today found guilty of causing death by dangerous driving. He'll be sentenced next month. And the Pentagon has released a video found in Afghanistan which appears to prove beyond doubt that Osama bin Laden was behind the September the 11th terrorist attacks. And that's tonight's news at 10. Thank you for watching. From all of us here, goodbye.